Hello and welcome back to the Man's Kitchen. Today we're going to make a very seasonal holiday soup. We're going to do roasted butternut squash, and I'll show you how to do that right after this. And we're back from the intro. Now, if you like this video, please hit the like button, and if you like my channel, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, you can see cool pictures and get behind-the-scenes tweets. Now, with that housekeeping out of the way, that's right, today we are doing roasted butternut squash soup. I know for you south of the border, you've got your Thanksgiving coming up in 8 days. 8 days will be Thanksgiving. And what is a better starter for your turkey dinner than butternut squash soup? So I'll show you the ingredients we're going to use coming up next. Okay, I've got some butternut squash and onions already cut up on this pan. Now, if you're not sure how to take care of your squash, I put a video up on Instagram about a month ago or so where I show you how to peel and cut a squash. And if you're not sure how to cut onions, you can always go to my culinary skills playlist where you can see all kinds of knife skills that you can use to cut up your vegetables. I've got some salt, some pepper, oregano, and sugar. And later on we'll be adding some chicken stock to the equation. But these are all the ingredients I have out now. Alright, as far as cooking goes, I'm going to put some ingredients on top of this, and then we're going to toss it in the oven. So the ingredients we're going to do, first we're going to put some oil on here. We don't want anything to dry out and burn. The oil is going to help, it's going to help protect everything and help it roast a little better. We're going to put some sugar on here. I have a 1/3 cup. There we go. Some oregano. Don't have to go crazy with it, just a little bit. Probably a teaspoon I put on there. Some pepper. And some salt. Okay, I had a small handful of salt. Now, just give everything a mix with your hands. And we're going to load this into a 350-degree oven set to convection bake. And we're going to roast this up for about an hour, give or take. And I'll get back to you when we're done roasting. Alright, it's been just over an hour, and I took these out of the oven, and I have some nice golden roasted butternut squash and onions. Now, I used 2 butternut squash in here because I have a lot of butternut squash from the garden. You could use 1 butternut squash with a carrot and a sweet potato, and it would come out just fine too. So I'm going to pop this into my pot of stock behind me. I'm going to bring that to a boil, and then I'm going to blitz it with a immersion blender. That's my plan. You could put this into a food processor, turn it on, and start pouring stock through the top till you get that soup consistency that you want. I don't have a food processor, so this is my plan. So I'm going to drop this in there, I'm going to bring it to a boil, and I'll get back to you then. Okay, we are just about to start boiling, and I would love to let it go to a full boil and boil up for a little bit, just to make sure that they're extra soft. But I did roast those squash pretty soft, and I have to go to work rather soon. So this is as boiled as it's going to get. I'm going to turn the heat down to a simmer. And I got my immersion blender here. So I'm going to drop this in, and I'm going to start blending this up. If you see some floaties, you can let it stop, because I see a couple. Go right over them and start blending directly on them. Now this is the time we're going to add our secret ingredient, and I'm going to go grab that from the cupboard. Alright, I grabbed some real, genuine maple syrup. This is from my sister-in-law's wedding 2 months ago, 1 month ago, 2 months ago. You know, it doesn't really matter. But we are going to pour this all in. Going to give it a bit of a blitz just to make that sure that mixes up. Okay, we're going to check it for seasoning now. Because I may or may not have had enough salt and pepper when I roasted. Not much, but it could use just a little salt. Give it one more mix to blend her up. And let's pour up a bowl of this. It's got just the right amount of richness and from the stock, and it's got the right amount of sweetness from that maple syrup and the sugar that we roasted the butternut squash up in at the start of the video. Now, if you want it a little thicker, then there's no reason you can't roux it up. Put a little flour and butter together there and thicken her up, or you could use some cornstarch too, if that's what you have handy. If you're going to use cornstarch, you mix cornstarch with water, cold water, and then whisk it in. But I got just the right amount of thickness that I wanted here. And in case you're wondering, I used 3 liters of stock. So that is my video on how you can make yourself a quick butternut squash soup. This took me about an hour and a half from start to finish. While it was roasting up, I was able to go outside and hang some Christmas lights, because it is going to get cold soon and I don't want to be up on the roof in the cold. Now, if you like this video, please hit the like button. And if you like my channel, hit that subscribe button. And remember, you can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Thanks, and have yourself a great week.